Hi everyone, I'm here. Uh, okay. Actually, you know what? Okay, so I have this microphone here that my lovely boyfriend got for me. So I'm gonna be using this microphone for this video today. And if you haven't noticed, I got bangs. So originally, I actually was just looking to frame my face. I saw a YouTube video and I noticed the girl in the video, or the YouTuber that I watched, had like framing pieces around her face, and I was like, you know what, I want framing pieces. So I chopped my hair, well, the front anyway, and I got framing pieces. But then later on I was like, you know what, fuck it, and I decided that I wanted bangs because I haven't had bangs since I was a literal toddler. So I now have bangs. I look like I belong in the 70s and the 90s at the same time, and my dress is blending into my wall. That is fantastic. Anyway, so I kind of wanted to do a video today, just kind of a more chill vibe, I guess. Earlier on today, I tried to film on my floor, but due to certain circumstances, I was not able to kind of get a full video film, but I do have some B-roll that I will use to kind of, I guess, give you a visual of what I'm talking about, because I did get some nice visuals or whatever in there. So I kind of wanted to talk about, how I'm slowly becoming a vintage grandma garden hoe. And what I mean by that is I have been really into like gardening recently. Like, when I say recently, I say within the last 6 months or so. I mean, I've been growing this rosemary for the past, I would want to say, 4 months now. And if my camera is shaky, I'm really sorry. I'm kind of on my bed, and I'm trying to sit as still as possible so my camera doesn't move, or my tripod doesn't move. So if the camera at any point shakes at all, I'm really sorry. But yeah, so I have this wonderful rosemary plant. His name is Mr. Plenty Plant, and he is a fine specimen. Look at that. And okay, funny story about this. So this was not the first plant that I planted. I tried to plant a rosemary plant before, but due to me not knowing any better, I killed my plants by overwatering them. And I felt really sad because, to me, my plants are my babies, and it makes me really sad when I, killed my plants. So I learned from that, and I realized that I need proper drainage. So I got this pot here, and I planted my rosemary, and I was really careful not to, overwater it, because rosemary is actually a plant that thrives in rather dry soil, because it is a plant that is native to the Mediterranean, and it thrives in relatively dry soil. So I water it once at most twice a week, and it's thriving very well. I just give it a lot of sunlight, and I talk to it, because I found on the internet that, oh my god, I have a massive headache, so work has been really stressful for me. So I've been getting really bad headaches, and it's really bad. I do have water up here, so if I need to stop, then I can just get a drink of water. But oh my gosh, but yeah, I'm sorry. I just get massive migraines now because of stress at work. But anyway, yeah, so I found on the internet that talking to your plant, because of the CO2, really helps it grow. So I talk to my plant as much as I can, and I also found out that plants tend to, I guess, respond well to female voices. So I have an advantage here, and also just never scream at your plant, because that is the worst thing you can do. It could kill it, so especially when it's like a younger plant. Yeah, so I've been growing this rosemary. I call him Mr. Planty Plant, and I'm very happy about his progress, and he's growing 2 new buds up here. And I feel like I've mastered the art of growing rosemary. So because of that, I guess, accomplishment, I decided that yes, I will indeed plant another plant. So I just planted this plant a couple days ago, so obviously there's nothing growing yet. But I am planting cilantro because I love cilantro. It is fantastic. And I decided to name him Jose. So now I have 2 plants that are male, I guess, and this one's name is Jose. And I tried looking up like how to water cilantro during its germination stage, and I don't know if I was just too dumb to like notice the video or like take notes of the video, but like all the videos I watched were like, oh yeah, you plant and then you water and then you boom. It wasn't like anything specific, so I was really confused as to how to water the plant. So I'm kind of just winging it and doing the thing that I did with my rosemary when it was germinating, which I water it like once a day. And another thing that I really like is that I found out that cilantro really thrives in cool but sunny environments where you want to keep cilantro at a relatively cool temperature. And they actually thrive in the winter as well because they are a cool weather plant. But they also thrive in sunny weather. So just to make sure that it is in a cool area while it gets enough sunlight, which is perfect because I'm growing it indoors and it'll stay within a relatively cool temperature. And I have in this, I guess, clay terracotta thing, and I saw on the internet, or I saw somewhere online, that cilantro really thrives in terracotta kind of pots and things. So I know this is probably not terracotta, but it kind of has a similar, I guess, texture to terracotta. So I'm thinking that this will be really great because this actually feels really cool to the touch. So I think that this kind of pot keeps the soil cool, and it has drainage, of course, so it drains the soil pretty well. So yeah, that's one thing that I really look for pots, is to make sure it has drainage. And unless it's a succulent, then it doesn't matter because succulents don't need a whole lot of water, so like drainage doesn't really make sense, at least as far as I know. But yeah, so I have this wonderful plant, this cilantro that I'm growing. I also, so I have a couple of like packets of seeds that I have bought recently. The ones I have right now is rosemary, chamomile, lavender, spearmint, cilantro obviously, and I have sage as well. And a couple of plants I'm actually looking for right now to grow. I really want to grow mint, and I also really want to grow lilac because I love lilacs. So I've been holding off on getting it because I know I can get it online, but I've been looking as well in stores and stuff to see if I can just get it in stores. But I feel like no matter where I go, I can't find them as like seed packets. So I'm just thinking at this point, I'm like, okay, I'll just buy them off of Amazon or something. Another thing I'm really pissed off about Amazon is that you can't like purchase anything anymore on Amazon and get that like free shipping with the $25 purchase or higher or more. I think it has to be higher now, which is really stupid. And I thought maybe it was because of the Prime Day thing that was happening. But I feel like now it's because, like, I don't know what happened to Amazon, but, like, I'm really pissed off that, like, Amazon did that. And makes me not want to buy from Amazon now, because I want that free shipping, because shipping costs a lot. So I'm just like, Amazon, like, what are you doing? Like, one thing that I really like, my boyfriend is a very giving person, and he gave me these UV glasses because I work from home and I work on a computer all day, and so I have these really cute sunglasses, really cute glasses that I kind of look like a cute nerdy girl in, especially with the bangs, like, yo. Yeah, and so these come in handy because it protects my eyes from the UV light, and part of the reason why I get so many headaches is because I look at the screen a lot, and so this is really nice. I wear this, when I work, and it's really nice just to keep that UV light away from my eyes, just protecting my eyes a little bit more. And so yeah, I kind of have a headache right now. My battery is kind of low too, so I might just stop for a little bit and then take a drink of water, because I am like, I've been taking ibuprofen like every day because I have such bad aches. Like yesterday I went on a little self date and went to Barnes and Noble and TJ Maxx and all those like white girl stores that I really like, and I've had like a massive headache the entire time, and it was bad, and I was trying to de-stress, which I did somewhat, but like I'm still like I just get massive headaches still. But yeah, speaking of TJ Maxx, I also got my first teapot and teacups. This is kind of relatively, I guess, old news, because I got this actually a couple weeks ago now. Excuse me, but my obsession with teapots and teacups is new, and I'm slowly and surely getting obsessed with them, and I've been watching like videos on YouTube about them, and I really want to get more. Like, I'm kind of a collective hoe with specific things. Like, I really like to collect perfume, I like to collect clothing, I like to collect dishware, I like to collect books, I like to collect journals and stickers, and like there's specific niches that I like to collect, especially if it's like cute and like dainty. Like, I am such a freaking, I guess for lack of better words, I'm a freaking hoe for them. So yeah, and yeah, so so my newest, I guess, collection obsession or hoarding obsession, because I like to hoard things, that's in my nature, is teapots and teacups and fine china and things like that. I really want to get like those like Japanese iron cast teapots. I think they look really cool and really beautiful, and same with the Chinese ones as well. I've seen a couple of those on Amazon, and I learned recently that there are different kinds of like teapots and stuff, and there are longer ones that are actually meant for coffee, because I think they're longer so that the grounds fall to the bottom and you get the fresh stuff without the grounds on top, and I think that's why it's like long and stuff. I know this because I watched a YouTube video about it and it explained that, and I was like, yo, the more you know, I guess. So I actually been really into really classic novels as well recently. I don't know what has gotten into me, but a couple months ago, or more even a year ago, I read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and it was really good. It had a lot of like gothic horror themes, and it was really, I guess, relatable. Like, it's a novel that was written so long ago, like over 100 years ago, and yet still relatable in a lot of ways. It kind of reminds me of how I felt when I read Hamlet in high school. Like, I really liked it because of how relatable it was despite how long ago it was written, and also the supernatural elements that were in it. I feel the same with The Picture of Dorian Gray. I feel like there was a lot of things that were really suspenseful, and a lot of paranormal and gothic things in it, and a lot of horror, and I really appreciated it, and really enjoyed it through and through. And I think that also, I think Oscar Wilde has a way of writing in a, I guess, aesthetic way, or in a way that makes you think that he has an eye, or at least an appreciation for aesthetics. And I think that is something that I really admire in authors. And I also think that Oscar Wilde had a quite, wild life. And I really want to make a video about him specifically because I find Oscar Wilde so intriguing. And I might do that once I finish this book here. This is the collected Oscar Wilde, and basically it has like all of his poems and essays and lectures, and even has a excerpt of The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I actually don't need because I already read the novel. And yeah, and I really enjoy it. And I actually have a list of classic novels. I really want to get more of these like Barnes and Noble classic novel things, and I actually have a list of novels I really want to get and purchase. I know that some of them I can read online, but I just rather have them in my hands. I guess like I read books better when I have them physically than, you know, online. And that goes for manga as well. I really want to get Junji Ito's manga. I know that I used to watch videos, I guess, like that explain the story, but because these works were published, they were taken down. And I really want to purchase those books now because I really enjoy Junji Ito's works. I really appreciate, I guess, the originality of his works and just how decrepit and creepy everything is. And especially with Tomie, I really like Tomie. I really like Remina. I also really like Headless Balloons or Head Balloons. Those are like one of my favorite stories by Junji Ito, and I really want to get Shiver, Remina, and also Tomie. I also really want to read Uzumaki. I haven't read that one yet, but I really want to read that when I can. And there's so many manga releases that I saw at Barnes & Noble the other day as well that I'm just so intrigued by. The artwork is just stunning. Like, I feel like with books in general recently, like, the artwork is just on point, and just, it makes me want to buy everything. Everything is so aesthetically pleasing and just seems so interesting, and there's a lot more diversity as well that's coming into it. And I also, so as I was browsing Barnes & Noble, specifically the poetry section, I came across a, I guess, poet named Rumi, and I think he was like some kind of Persian poet. I'm not completely sure, but he has quite a few poetry works, and I think the one that really stuck out to me was his poetry about love. I actually read some of them online because I was kind of hesitant to purchase them at Barnes & Noble, but I really came to find that I really like his poetry, and I'm looking to purchase that when I can as well. So yeah, I become a classic literature hoe. I am, slowly but surely reading the classics. I've been just on a hunt for just like good new manga and new, classic literature and things like that. I've been slowly and surely adding those kinds of things into my collection of books, even though I don't read that often, but when I do, it's those kinds of novels. And so I really want to talk. So I read this book that I got at Half Price Books. It was called, oh my god, what was it called? In the Valley, I don't know, but the premise was really cool actually. It was about vampires in the Southwest United States, and this took place, I think, sometime in the 70s or before, a little before that. It seemed like it took place sometime in the mid 1900s, and it was really, really interesting because it had a very grotesque take on vampires and kind of like their destruction on, you know, humanity in the United States. If you've seen 28 Days Later, it's kind of like that vibe where they take vampires and make them very grotesque and very violent. Same concept, but in a novel. And I thought that the way it was written was good for the most part. One thing that I really like kind of like irked me a little bit, because like, you know that this was written by a guy, because like the amount of times that breasts, like anytime like a woman showed up or was talked about in a novel, like breasts in some way, shape, or form are mentioned, and it's just like, yep. So this clearly was written by a male. That was one thing that really, really, really irked me, because it's just like, really. But other than that, I thought that the novel was written very well. I thought it was very catching. Like the way it was written was so like it caught my attention, and it kept me interested and kept me reading. But yeah, that was the only thing I really didn't like about it. But I thought that he though was a very good writer. He knew how to like craft a story and make it very grotesque and very, very dark, and so yeah. And typically I don't like stories that are set in the Southwest United States, or like stories that take place in like a more Western setting. I tend to not like those kind of stories, because I don't know why, but this one was pretty good, not gonna lie. Like, this one was good. So I'll put the title and the author somewhere in the video, because I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but you'll see it. And if you've read it and you know what it is, you know what I'm talking about. So okay. And another thing too, I have been really obsessed with milk tea. And I recently visited a store with my boyfriend where we were able to get a bunch of milk tea and things that aren't really available in our local area. And I've actually tried rose tea recently, and you guys, okay, so I didn't think that I was gonna like it, okay? I did not think that I was gonna like it, but it is so good. Like, I've been having it almost every day for the past week or so, and it is so good. But I only have enough for like one more serving, because in my teapot, because I typically make it in my teapot, I have to use 2 just so like the flavor is, you know, there. And so because of that, I've ran out pretty quickly, and now I only have enough to make like one more batch in my teapot. And my teapot right now, the one I have serves about like 4 cups, and it's a pretty big teapot, and it keeps it warm for a relatively long time. And considering it's made out of porcelain glass, I find that pretty impressive. I didn't think glass could do that, but you know, maybe I'm just dumb and I just don't know things. But yeah, I really like rose milk tea. I think it's really good. Speaking of rose things, I've been really obsessed with like rose scented things, and I think that the market can tell, because literally there's so many like beauty products, like cleansers and shampoos and perfumes, things like that are rose scented, and I am such a sucker for it. And also, I was at Target yesterday too, and I feel like I said, I feel like, you know how like Barnes Noble novels and manga, like the aesthetics are there. Same thing with packaging when it comes to makeup and just pretty much everything. Like, I feel like the package game is so on point, and it just makes me just the urge to buy something just because it looks so pretty and cute is just there. But I managed to like hold myself back, because you know, yeah, because I saw this makeup brand and I forgot what it was called, but I'll put it in the video somewhere. And I saw the packaging, and it looks really good. Like, I was like just impressed with the packaging, and it's so pretty and floral and has like gold foiling and stuff on it. So I was really, really intrigued by the packaging, and but it's really expensive. And I saw in there too, like they have like a cleanser where they have like rose petals in it, and I was like, what? So I'm just so, because I love the way that like rose scented things smell. And I think this started back when I was studying abroad in Korea. I got several rose scented perfumes. Actually got one from Daiso, and I also had one from Etude House that I was really obsessed with and I really like the smell of, and it brings me back. Like anytime I smell like rose scented things, it brings me back to when I studied abroad in Korea, because that was the first time that I guess I really was exposed to that kind of scent. So it was, yeah, so I really like rose scented things, and I think that the market can tell. I also think the market can tell that I'm obsessed with teapots and teacups and things like that. Yeah, and I'm just slowly turning into a cottagecore grandma at this point, because I honestly don't know. Like, I don't even know what this video is anymore. I even got like Tumblrware from Target. I don't want to show you right now because like it's like used and like gross and stuff, but they have these like Tumblrware where it's like plastic, and they have like embossed like vines and flowers and floral shit on it, and it's just like so I've been really obsessed with like glassware and things, especially if it's like really dainty, pink, or floral in any way, shape, or form. I don't know, I feel like at the same time I'm like going through like a quarter life crisis. I don't know if the bangs didn't give it away, but I don't know. I also been really wanting like blue eyeshadow. I really like Colourpop. I use a lot of products from Colourpop, and most of my eyeshadow palettes are from Colourpop. And the one that I really want right now is the Cloud Blue palette. It's relatively cheap, and the reason why I'm not getting it is because like I'm trying to save so I can move out to my own place, and I'm trying not to spend too much money on like shit I don't need, because I do that too much already. And so yeah, but yeah, I've really been wanting that. Like there's like, I feel like over the years like I'm becoming like more and more materialistic, and like I don't know, part of me is just like I don't want to be like this, but I also just I feel like because like I feel like I'm just stuck in my situation, and so like and we're stuck in this capitalistic nightmare, and so it's just like, and I'm also just like, you know what, life is short, so if I'm gonna be stuck in this nightmare, I might as well take advantage of, you know, the things that are good about this. So I don't know, but I know that at my core I'm a very creative person, and I like to investigate, you know, things. I like to discover things, but I also like to discover things that are more creative, things like that. So like I took like the Strengths Finder quiz or whatever, and my top two were artistic and investigative, with artistic being the first and then investigative the second. And my third, because there's like a third, you know, top strength, that varies sometimes, like it depends, but I know my top two for sure is artistic and investigative. I love exploring artistic shit. So in my journal I've been like writing a lot of like poetry that I find on Tumblr, because I'm still 14 years old at heart. I think I'll just end it here, because I feel like at this point I'm just rambling and I'm not making any sense, and I'm boring everyone, including myself. So thank you so much for watching this video. I think I'm just gonna name this some tea generic, I don't know what I'm gonna name this video honestly, but thank you so much for listening to my video. This is gonna be quite a long one, but I really wanted to make a video that was a little bit more personable or personal. I've been going through it, and I just wanted to kind of express, you know, the good things about life and my creative soul. I just want to express my creative vintage grandma garden hoe soul. So And yeah, thank you for watching and listening to this if you made it all the way through. And until the next time I make a video, bye bye.